Alright, hello YouTube. This is going to be the start of a new journey, as you can see by the title of the video. So pretty much, I'm going to start up a social media marketing agency. I already started it up. So yeah, but this is going to be the start of journaling my journey. And pretty much what I'm going to do from 2023 all the way to 2024 is really just scale my agency as far as I can. And I know this is like, oh, you've been sold a dream, whatever. But in reality, any business model pretty much works. And I don't think a lot of people grasp that. And I've actually been doing a lot of inner work and been doing a lot of reading, researching, learning, not just from the course, but of course, learning from other people, influencers, entrepreneurs, and things of that nature. So it's not something that just came to me out of the blue. It's something that I've been looking into for the past 7 or 8 months of my life. So it was something I was going to start when I was 19, but I put it off tremendously because, the typical lifestyle that I want to live. I wanted to, watch porn, play video games, and things of that nature. So I wasn't really dedicated. I was never going to build up anything with those habits in mind. I wanted to drink, wanted to have fun, wanted to have fun with girls and things of that nature. So I never really built myself up at all from like 20 all the way up until right now. And this past month, I've actually done a lot. I invested into the Eman Gaji course like 2 months ago. September 24th, I think I bought it, was the day I actually purchased it. And the reason I purchased it was the simple fact that, oh no, I need to buy a course to actually learn how to make millions. It wasn't really that. The motive was, you know what? Stop being a bitch and invest in yourself and actually get out there and implement everything you learned from this course. And that's pretty much why I bought it. It could have been any course, but since I already wanted to get the ball rolling, I wanted to get myself motivated. I needed to sacrifice something, right? So that's pretty much what I did. That was the totality of my actions that allowed me to finally put myself out there and let myself take action. And ever since then, from October to November, I didn't work on the course at all. So I was judging the course based on the sole factor that I did not work on it. And I watched like 10 videos that did like 10% of the thing, and I got pretty much nowhere because 10% of anything is not going to yield you anything. So I was pretty stupid considering the fact that I thought I knew it all. So from October to November, I was just pretty much drinking consistently. I was fucking around. I was doing the same shit. I wasn't playing video games, but I was just watching a lot of TV. I wasn't building myself up whatsoever. I wasn't trying to focus on anything. So November rolls around. I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna try to do no November. That was the goal. I'm like, no November. Let's see what's up. And that's pretty much what I did. And that carried me to start building myself up. Start taking the course seriously. Start actually doing things to get yourself out there, and start taking action instead of bullshitting. Because in July, from July to the end of August, I did outreach. I texted like 500 Facebook companies, and I texted directly to the company. I had no idea what I was doing. It's hilarious, pretty much. But you live and you learn, trial and error. Don't judge the result, judge the action. And the action that I took was that, I actually really want to try this thing. And that's substantially what I did. And now here I am, a month later. So I'm almost done with the course. I'm pretty much like 5-6 videos left. That's probably about 2 hours maybe of my time. I read 7 books onto 8. By the end of this month, I'm gonna be at 10. So 10 books I'm gonna read in the span of a month and a half, 2 months. Yeah, so from November 7th all the way till now, I've worked on myself substantially, like put in the work. I've actually have a bookcase to show you, or a notebook to show you of all the notes I took from the course and the books that I've read. So that's about 30-40 pages. front and back, as you can see, front and back. So totality of like 70 pages, 65 pages of pure notes, and I still don't have everything on there. You know, I don't have everything on there, so I'm gonna take another 5 or 6 pages of notes. But whatever. The goal of this video isn't to really, you know, help anybody or to build anybody up or anything like that. Pretty much it's just for me to look back at a year from now and put it out there so people know that the start of a journey is not seen, the end of the journey, the goals, everything that is accomplished, the result of the actions, everything that you did that nobody saw, every action that you took, every courageous step that you took is not seen. Work in silence is pretty much what I've been doing. Only one person really truly knows all the work I've done, and it's my best friend. And you know, she has cancer and everything, and she's helped me out tremendously. I've helped her out tremendously because I've tried my best to help her out, so I know I've helped her out. And whenever I give my best at anything, I know there's gonna be some result, you know. But at the start of this journey, I'm 20 years old, about to be 21 in 3-4 months. So I'm pretty much a youngster, and the first thing that I want to do is start a business, put myself out there, and generate as much income as possible to help myself out solely, respect myself, and do the goals that I've aspired to since I was a kid, since I was 5 or 6 years old. And then on top of that, help out my family, help out my friends, and get my parents out of this rut that they're in. And that's pretty much what I want to do with this. This is the goal from the get-go. That's why I invested $1,500. I was like, what's $1,500 a month of work? Because I work security and I don't get that much hours, a part-time job. I'm like, so I'm not doing much with my time. I'm like, I need to do something. And this is what this whole month has been since November to now. It's November 7th to now. Just been reading, taking notes, and watching, learning. And now I have the confidence to actually go out there and put myself out there. I've done about 100 cold calls, which is not a lot, to tell you the truth. It's not a lot because 60% of people don't actually pick up. You go to voicemail, and especially the times of day, the time throughout the day that you actually call. So yeah, 100 cold calls, 30 of have actually picked up, and I set the meeting with one person. I know, but it's mainly because I call at horrible times. My sleep schedule is shit. I sleep like shit. I don't get good sleep. I actually gone 3 months without drinking any coffee, and I've drank coffee today. 4 in the morning, I'm drinking fucking coffee. It's about to be 5 in the morning, or it already is 5 in the morning. And I finished this about an hour ago. And here I am. I created a new cover for my Facebook, a new logo for my brand, and now I'm making a video and I'm uploading it to YouTube. And it's not for anybody to really watch, but it's just for me to look back at and see where I started. I know that not that many of you guys care, and if you have reached this far, it really goes to show that, you know, you want to see somebody's birth of a new journey, and you want to see where somebody started to where they ended up at. That's why you're still here. That's why you're still watching this video. And to be honest, I've learned so fucking much in the past month. It's crazy how much you can learn whenever you have no distractions whatsoever. Look, I've had chances with a couple girls in November. You know, I actually hung out with the girl on Saturday, and we didn't do anything. Not really did anything. And all of November I had chances with girls, but thankfully, I'm happy that it did not work out. Because if it did work out with those girls, this would have never worked out. the 7 books that have been read, taking detailed notes for the most part, the ideas that have come to my head, the things that I want to do, the aspirations I have, the goals that I've set out for myself, the mentality that I've developed, everything. This is going to be a long video because this is going to be the start of a new journey. This is going to be the birth of Jesus Uvalle to the moon, pretty much. So it's going to be a long video, but regardless of that fact, I know I went on a little tangent right there, but regardless of that fact, I would have never done the work if I would have had the chance with these girls. It would have been either this or this. And I literally said to myself, I'd rather have this any day of the week. And that's what ended up happening. And that's why I really started focusing on my goals and finishing this course. And I recommend the course to anybody. And the reason I recommend investing $1,500, $1,000 is because you're actually going to see the sacrifice that you put into it. You're going to see that $1,500 is a big investment. I actually did 2 separate payments. So if you do 2 separate payments, they charge you an extra $100 fee. And you don't have no return. I actually was begging for the return because I had so much anxiety built up of, of self-doubt and worry. I'm like, I'm an idiot. I bought a scam. I'm so stupid. I shouldn't have done this. And I tried so hard to return it. And they're like, it's too late, man. You can't return it. And to me, I thought that was kind of scummy. But, I took that risk. They let me know beforehand. If you do the 2 payments, you can't do the return. So it was my fucking fault. And I blame myself entirely on that. But it was a good mistake because now here I am. I've read so many books that I've never done before. I've never done this before. I've never read books and taken notes on them. I promise you that. Especially not no self-help book. I listen to audiobooks, but audiobooks are pretty much bullshit. And here are the books I wanted to show you. So I read Man Up by Bedros. I fuck with that guy. Really cool. Took notes on it. It's a very good book. 25 bucks, hardcover. I just love the idea of hardcover. It feels more, it just feels more like intertwined with you. Hardcover just feels nice. Atomic Habits, pretty good book. Recommend it. If you've never read a book, start here so you can actually understand what a habit is. The Way of the Superior Man, very good book. Talks about purpose. The main soul of a man's mission is to live up to their fullest potential and purpose. Love that book. No More Mr. Nice Guy, pretty good book. Take charge of your life. Don't let your life be dictated by fear, and do the best things you can to actually generate the results that you want. And what kind of result do you want? Let's be real here. You want to live a life of substance. So pretty much good book. Changes your perspective on yourself and those around you. Now this is a fucking golden nugget right here. This is a diamond in the rough. And this is Brainwash. This is a book that was just sitting around my house for like years. Nobody ever read it. Nobody ever touched it. It was like that loner kid at school that nobody cares about, but whenever you talk to him, he's pretty interesting. It's an interesting individual, and he has actually substance to say. So this book right here pretty much talks about the human brain, how it works, the amygdala versus the prefrontal cortex. Pretty much the amygdala is the beta and the prefrontal cortex is the alpha. That's the way I look at it. This is the front of the brain, prefrontal cortex, back of the brain, amygdala. And you can dictate how your brain functions with those 2. And how do you do that? The actions you take. The TV you watch, the food you eat, the TV that you consume, the porn that you consume. It talks about all that. Your environment, everything, how it affects everything. So this book's the golden nugget. It's only like 200 pages because it has a whole ingredient list of the things you can do to cook and put into your body. So yeah, good book. Strongly recommend it. Brainwash. It's a golden nugget. Nobody talks about this book. It will really change your perspective on what you put in your body, what you consume, what you allow your brain to actually, allow into its own life. Because your brain is everything, brain is everything. And then the book, because I'm going into advertising, but advertising the best thing you can learn in this life. And I promise you, this book is very, very good. It talks about copywriting, headlines, goals you want to set out for yourself, things you actually want to do whenever you're advertising, what works, what doesn't work. So yeah, and then I have another book coming in, same guy, Ogilvy, and pretty much what I want you guys to take away from this video is that you put in the work, you're gonna get results. You put in the work, you're gonna generate results. It's that simple. And these books have changed my perspective on myself and those around me. And it's the best thing that I've ever done for myself. And I've read another book, and it's not here because I gave it to my dad, by the way. I let him read it. I want him to read it. And so he can change himself and change the things that he does, you know. And the book is called Raising a Modern Day Knight. And that book, although I can't show it to you, it's a pretty good book. It talks about male community and male leadership and how men need to be shown how to be men. It's a pretty good book. That I strongly recommend to read it. No, but the key takeaway from the book, which really changed my perspective on myself, is that when I was a child, I used to think as a child, reason as a child, act as a child, and talk as a child. When I became a man, I did away with childish things, and I kind of butchered the quote a little bit, teeny tiny bit, but regardless of that fact, it was a pretty good quote, and I paid $2 for it, $7 for the whole book, and I got good, advice from the book, and that's the main thing you want from books. Good advice, work on yourself. It's gonna be the best thing you can do. How do you work on yourself? Reading books, eliminating distraction, like I said, eliminating the video games, eliminating the porn in your life. We're young, I'm young, I understand you have a high sex drive, but anticipate the greater reward of life. And that's another thing from Raising a Modern Day Knight. And how do you anticipate the greater reward? By putting off instant gratification, which I know a lot of people talk about. I know it's redundant. There's a reason a lot of people preach it. And there's a reason a lot of people talk about it. And the sole simple fact is that it works. It works. Stop playing the video games. Best thing you can do, I know it's going to be hard. Sell it. Best thing you can do. Now, if you have money like that, break your console. Break it. Get rid of it. It doesn't provide any substantial value in your life at all. You see, on my laptop, I have a gaming laptop because my idea was I'm gonna start stock market and I'm gonna start investing. I fucking play video games, bought video games like a jackass. And I was a little kid back then. I was 19 at the time, and I thought I was a genius buying a laptop, investing in myself again. But look at how it's paid off in the long run. And what I did was just delete everything. I deleted Steam, Battle.net, everything, so I wouldn't be able to download the video games. Deleted all that, got rid of it all. And now here I am, a month later, been cold calling. Cold calling is not easy. I'm telling you that right now. People say cold calling is easy. It's one of the hardest things that I've done in my life. And I'm telling you, man, I go up and talk to girls, moms and bad girls and girls that are like, oh my God, like, how does he even talk to her? And cold calling is scarier than that, because talking to girls, I'm gonna tell you, it's not easy. It requires a lot of courage. How do you go up to a girl and talk to her? How do you not make yourself look stupid, And me, personally, I consider myself a pretty attractive individual, and it's still hard. It's still really, really hard, But regardless of that fact, cold calling pretty much teaches you a lot. And I'm proud to say that I have done it. I did it 20 times today. I'm gonna do it another 20 times today, or later today. And I did it 20 times yesterday. But yeah, man, working on yourself is great. Doing things for yourself are amazing. I've built myself up tremendously. Tremendously. It's insane how far you can go within 1 month. Now imagine whenever it stacks on itself. It stacks, it stacks, it stacks, it stacks. And that's how habits work. You know, you develop one habit, and then two habits, and then three habits, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It just keeps on stacking. And that's the beautiful thing about one habit. Big winnings come from small beginnings. And that's a quote that I don't remember where I got it from. I think it was Atomic Habits. And it's very, very true. Very, very true. You know, look at the big winnings I have. I started off with one book, Brainwash. I did The Way of the Superior Man like 6 months ago. And I got to reread that book, but a lot of key points have stuck with me. But it started with Brainwash. I read Brainwash. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to read this other book. I'll go beyond advertising. I already had the book. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to finish this book. And then I'm going to read No More Mr. Nice Guy. Because my brother had it. And then I read that book. And then it's like, you know what? Let me order these other books. And I got Man Up and Atomic Habits, $40. And then I got Raising Modern Day Night. Or I got Raising Modern Day Night before Atomic Habits and Man Up. And then once the books came in, I read them all. I read all these books within 2 weeks. In the span of 2 weeks. You know, I did the work. It took me about 30 hours, 35 hours in total to read all the books. I know that's a lot of time. I dedicated all my time into reading the books pretty much. Watching the courses on Imangaji's website, Grow Your Agency. And I strongly recommend to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Best thing you can do. What do you want to start? What do you want to start, truly? You know, me personally, the digital advertising, it's not going to be the sole goal of my life. It's not going to be the best thing that I ever aspire to. But it's going to be the start of something new. And although if it won't work out, I will jump to the next thing. The next thing. I know so much. I know how to run advertising. I know what good advertising is. I know what bad advertising is. Now, I know how to advertise myself and sell myself to the market, create offers and things of that nature, and run a good business plan. And, you know, and it all started from one small beginning, one small step. And that was semen retention. To be honest, it's powerful. It's magnificent. And I did not want to talk about this back in the day because, you know, it's kind of cringy, but it does work. And I'll tell you why it works. And it's just one simple fact. When you ejaculate, your body releases estrogen, or it opens up your estrogen receptors, and it increases prolactin. And prolactin pretty much makes you tired and fatigued and out of it. And estrogen is the female hormone to what makes woman a woman. And it decreases your androgen receptors, so it shuts them down pretty much. Your brain is not receiving these receptors no more, or is closing them down. So your androgen receptors play a key role in testosterone absorption. So you have free testosterone, then you have testosterone. And free testosterone is pretty much pointless without androgen receptors. So the more androgen receptors that you have, pretty much, the better your brain, your body utilizes testosterone. And you want your testosterone to be utilized at an exponential rate whenever you're young. Because after like 28, you stop producing as much testosterone. And that's crazy. But regardless, there's a science behind it. And it's been preached for thousands of years. Thousands of years. So considering the fact that I started up my business, I started all this work, took all these notes, have the courage to actually go out there and build myself up completely and entirely. I do have the courage, I have the willpower, I have the strength, I have everything I need. So if you reached this far into the video, like I said earlier, I appreciate you a lot. I really do. And that goes without saying. It goes to show that you really want to change your life. That you're really captivated by the ideas presented to you in this video. And if you want the same results that I have gotten, just use this video as a guide. And I'm telling you right now that I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. Everybody falls and stumbles. But it's those who pick themselves back up that achieve greatness and success. And that's a simple fact. So thank you for watching this video, taking time out of your day, your precious, valuable time. Always value your time. Value your time because it's finite and everybody's gonna die. And that should motivate you every single day. That the actions that are dictated by you right now will affect the outcomes you have 10 years from now. So, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Have a good one.